Hello, everyone. Welcome to Sahara Equity's YouTube channel, where you can find expert advice and achieve your own financial freedom. This is Jazz, and he's ready with me. If you have attended the PIAT 2021 conference a few weeks ago, you may have heard us speak about this topic already. But for those that don't know, apart from Sahara Equity, we also have a property management company called Mars Residential. We vertically integrated these two companies in order to simplify our acquisition and management process. With that being said, I will move to Reddy to help us give a definition of what vertical integration is.
Absolutely. Vertical integration within business is nothing more than having ownership of the different steps within the production and service process. This is a strategy businesses use in order to streamline their operations by directly owning various stages of production or service process. So we can talk about some examples of vertical integration.
Well, let's take the best example right now, Netflix, because I watch it pretty often. Netflix is a subscription-based content streaming provider. You can see all kinds of movies and seasons out there. But lately you must have seen Netflix series or Netflix production produced movies or anthologies. Where do you think they are coming from? That's from the Netflix in-house production. They are not only just streaming the content from other producers, but they have started to produce their own content now. And why would they do that? This is exactly where vertical integration concept comes into picture. They have implemented their concept of vertical integration for some portion of it. They still continue to buy from others, but for some portion of it, they have integrated by doing their own in-house production and streaming that content for the viewers, which will help leverage their costs of purchasing upfront from other producers.
So let's say we started with multifamily a few years ago. We used to only acquire properties and act as asset managers, and we used to give the management to third-party management companies. What happened was that we used to have very less control on the day-to-day operations by handing the property management piece of the business to third-party management company. With the vertical integration, we brought that company also under our ownership, where we not only control the acquisition of the properties, but also management of the properties. So both of those two different arms of the business are controlled by our ownership. That helped us in controlling day-to-day operations, and also it helped us in managing the process more efficiently.
Well, firstly, the time is the first challenge. You are starting up with a new process that you have not done before, and this requires ample amount of your dedicated time to make sure what you're starting is going to run smoothly. So the groundwork, the foundation needs a lot of time, which means you're taking away time from your core business. But to make sure that it is going to be an efficient startup or setup, you want to be hiring the right kind of resources. And that comes from the experience, right? So that's the first challenge. You need to be able to hire the right resource and be able to allocate that person to the right kind of job. Of course, when you're starting up, if you're starting up with very few in your hand, which is like lower volume, then your startup costs are going to be higher. Will it remain higher all the time? Maybe not. Depends on how you scale. But that's another challenge that you would end up having if you're starting on a lower volume basis. So when you start, think right, if it's the right time, or should we wait rather a little more? And like I said, start off with, it does take a lot of time and it takes a lot of effort, which means you are waning away from your core business unless you have someone to take care of your core business until you set this up, or you have a professional that you have hired to help you set this up for you, and all you do is oversee and make sure it's running smoothly. So those are the challenges I have seen so far. Maybe rather you should talk about all the advantages, the benefits and the pros.
Okay, one of the biggest benefits of vertical integration is we'll have ability to make more deals work, because we'll have more control on our day-to-day operations. We'll have more control on our expenses, which will help us in making more number of deals work that are in the market for acquisition. So come to the second point where, like I said, more control on day-to-day operations. That's also one of the biggest advantages of vertical integration, because when you give your properties to third-party management company, you lose that day-to-day control, because you'll act as an asset manager and you don't have any control on a day-to-day operations. So that will be a tremendous advantage. The third point is make decisions more quickly and efficiently. So again, when third-party management company is managing your properties, you don't have a lot of control on any major decisions. So, but having that vertically integrated property management gives that leverage where you can make more decisions quickly and efficiently without depending on others. The other advantage is hire and retain in-house talent. What it means is that with the third-party management company, all the staff at the properties report to the third-party management company. We don't have any control on the resources that work at our properties. With vertical integration, with having our own management company, we'll have more control on our resources. We can hire right resources, try to retain them if they are good resources, because they'll be our in-house resources. One of the other advantages we have is we can keep control on capex budget. So let's say whenever we acquire properties, we'll have a capex budget that we put together during the acquisition, and during the execution of that capex budget, having that in-house property management company will have more leverage in keeping the actual expense close to the budget. So we'll always be on target and make sure that our actual expenses are closer to the budget. So those are the major advantages of having vertically integrated management company.
So with all these advantages and disadvantages, laying it out on the table, we decided to move on with vertical integration because we have had quite a few properties that we had acquired already. We had been working through a third-party management company. We did see its own cons of working with a third-party property management company with expenses not being under control and with the income not reaching the targets where it should be. That's where we went ahead, we jumped with both feet, and we started off with our own property management company that is now vertically integrated with our acquisitions. We acquire a property, we have now a property management company that is under our ownership but a different leadership. So an acquisition teams comes in, we acquire the property, underwrite the property, we go through the acquisition process, and then we hand it over to a property management company who has all these defined processes, our vision, our goals to plug in the acquisitions that we took over and just make it work. This is where our success has been coming through so far. So we hope you have learned about vertical integration from us, the beginning of vertical integration, but there's more to it. If you are interested in learning more, please do subscribe to our channel and also to our mailing list where we can send out more information to you all. You can also check out our Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn to know more about the properties or acquisitions. And if you're interested in getting a portfolio deck, send us an email and we will be happy to share our portfolio deck to you. Thank you for watching. Signing off.